All right, guys. I'm about to bring a message that is going to kind of, let's just say you're going to want to invite your friends because you're going to go to school tomorrow and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, at church we talked about this. And they're going to be like, no way. And then you're like, yeah. My youth pastor said the word this in church.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to be like, what the heck? So, you guys are about to have the craziest message ever. So, you're going to want to look on Facebook because we're recording it and so you can hear it and show your friends. Okay? So, that's what we're going to do. Alright, the title of my message, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure? If you're easily offended, you might want to leave.
Alright.
Like everybody leaves.
Alright, the title of my message is each one of you are getting pimped and you don't even know it. No, you're not a pimp. You're the other side of the pimp. You're a hoe. You're a hoe. You're a big hoe. And it's biblical. Listen. And I'm biblically speaking that you're a hoe.
Oh, what kind?
Okay. All right. What does that mean? What does that mean? You're getting pimped and you don't even know it. What do you guys think that means?
You're being used.
You're being used.
We're following somebody now.
You're following someone.
You're being forced.
You're being forced. All right. Well, here's the thing, guys. Sorry, I walked around a lot. Here's the thing. What is a pimp? I'm going to talk to you about what a pimp is. A pimp is an agent for prostitutes or hoes who take their earnings. The pimp.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen a pimp?
Yeah, right here.
Do you guys think you're pimps?
So style.
Oh!
Can I be the hoe?
What is a pimp?
That right there.
That's a gangster right now.
Look at that dollar hanging out.
I make all your dreams come true.
Can I be a hoe?
That is disgusting. You coming with me too? I'll be wet. I'll put you to work, man. I'll be wet, brother. What time, homie? Is that you?
Yeah, take it.
Right here. I'm just free.
Let's go.
I am free.
Carry my cane.
Can I carry your hat? I want to carry your hat.
Let's go, homeboy.
How much you
Hey,
charge?
a pimp right there may receive this money in return for protection and providing a location where he or she could engage their service. Okay? That is what a pimp is. A pimp also, the pimp-prostitute whole relationship can be abusive, possessive. The pimp uses techniques such as psychological intimidation, manipulation, beating, confinement, threats of violence, forced to use drugs, and shame of what the things that they do, the acts that the girl prostitute or the guy prostitute does. The character, the pimp, this pimp right here, is going to look out in this crowd and he will target naive and lonely and rebellious people. That's what a pimp looks for. Guys, this is, I know this is funny, but this is real. A pimp will go out and look and target. They go to high schools. They go to community centers, and they go to malls. And they look for naive and rebellious people. Okay? Characteristic of a pimp. Their superficial charm. You know how he came up to me and was like, hey girl.
Confident.
That's superficial. What does superficial mean? What does superficial mean?
Confident. He's superficial.
No? What is superficial? Anyone?
Clever.
Do you like your fly? Do you like your all that?
Like Like rich?
No.
Above you.
Superficial.
Can get it?
Satan.
Yes. Superficial means it's fake.
Oh,
Superficial means it's
it's an act.
it's an act. So he has superficial charm. He's a pathological liar. He's callous and he lacks empathy. What's empathy?
Feeling sorry for people.
Like caring for people when they're hurt. Like if they get hurt. Opposite.
Walk it off.
Lack of remorse or guilt. That is what a pimp is. That's what a pimp is. Thanks, pimp.
Your shirt's está todo arrugado.
What'd you call me? Said your
Your
shirt's
shirt's all-
wrinkled.
I casi no tengo
Come on,
arrugado.
I'll see you tonight.
All right.
Alright, God, you right.
Hey, I'm not cheap.
That's right, you're
He's a
not.
dime. He's a dime.
I'm expensive.
Okay, here's the thing, guys. I'm going to tell you something that's very real. Because that guy is Satan. And he owns all of you. He pimps you guys out. When you sin, guess what? He has control over you. You no longer have control of yourself. When you look at stuff you're not supposed to look at, guess who's owning you? He's pimping you. That's what it means to be pimp. What's a prostitute? What is a hoe?
This girl from my school, she crushed me.
What's a hoe?
Hey, this girl, man, I saw inside.
Somebody who like doesn't respect yourself and gives stuff away.
Okay. A prostitute is a person that has no self-esteem, that feels that they have no, I want to make this very clear, feels like they have no other choice but to either make a living and they have no other control over their lives, and they continue to sell themselves and to give up what God has given them. Does that make sense? A prostitute is a person that has no control over their life. They feel like they're subdued. Someone's controlling them. That is what the term of a prostitute is someone who feels they have no control of their lives and is selling themselves because they feel that there's no other way. Guys, you guys are prostitutes. Let me tell you why. Is this kind of hard to hear? You're like,
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a
Pastor Lauren just called me a prostitute.
I'm a prostitute.
You're like,
I'm gonna have you guys sign waivers after this. No, but guys, I heard the song, and the song that we heard when we were walking in, and it said, "No, brother, no lie, you are being pimped." And I was like, oh my gosh, what does that mean? And I went through the Bible, and it talked about getting pimped. See, the Bible says that we cannot serve two masters. Matthew 6:24 says, no one can serve two masters. He will either love one and hate the other, or listen to one and work against the other. You cannot have both God and riches as your master at the same time. Okay, we're talking about, you're like, okay, Lori, you're talking about being a pimp and being a prostitute, and now you're talking about money? You're like, I don't get it. What does that mean? What does riches mean? What does riches mean?
what you own.
What you own?
Luxury, like that you don't need.
Luxuries, okay. What else? Money, right?
A lot.
A lot of
Fancy
money.
stuff.
Fancy stuff? Let me tell you what the Bible says. Actually, what riches means is, in the Greek word for riches is mammon. It is a term from the Bible, and it used to describe material wealth or greed, most often personified as a deity, and it includes one of the 7 princes of hell. Yeah. When I read that, I was like, what the heck? It says that there are 7 demons who are the 7 prince. They're prince of demons. I'm going to give you all those 7. Lucifer is pride. Mammon is greed. Amadeus is lust. Satan is wrath. Beelzebub is gluttony. What's gluttony?
Overeating.
Like you
When you're
overeat,
full
take
and you
more
can't
than
eat.
what you need. Leviathan is envy, and Belphegor is vanity and sloth. So let me ask you this: who's pimping you? Is it pride?
No.
Is it greed?
All of this.
Listen, shh. Is it pride? Is it greed? Is it lust? Is it anger, wrath? Like being so angry you hate people? Is it gluttony where you can't stop, you have to get more even if you don't need it? Is it envy, jealousy, or is it vanity or laziness? Guys, those are the things that pimp us out. Those are the things that pimp us out daily. If we have pride when we're not teachable, that takes over our lives. It consumes us. It ruins our life. You will never hear a prostitute say, I want to grow up and be a prostitute. You'll never hear that. I was looking up the how do you say it? The statistics. Yeah. You can never say that word. Statistics about the prostitutes. Guys, let me tell you, they did a whole study, and it is heartbreaking because they feel that they are stuck. They lose their self-esteem. They lose their value. And when sin comes into our lives, and when the devil pimps us out, guess what? We lose our value on who God's called us to be. See, because God says that He has a plan for us. God says that I have plan and I have a purpose. I've known you before you were even born. When you are in the womb, when you're being born or made, fetus, little baby in the stomach, like He knew your laughter, He knew the color of your hair, He knew the color of your eyes, He knew your personality. And Satan, what does the Bible say? Miss Renee talked about this last week. What does Satan want to do?
Destroy us.
He wants to come and steal, kill, and destroy. That's what the Bible says. Okay.
Okay. So does God know your future, everything that's gonna happen?
Yes and no, but I'm going to talk about that. Okay. But here's the thing, guys, is that aren't you tired of being pimped out and not even knowing you're getting pimped? How sad is that? Is that you're considered a prostitute when you're living a sinful life according to God's eyes, because you're letting someone control you and destroy what He has for you. Never thought of it that way, huh? Kind of sucks, right? Let me tell you what God said. See, there was a city called Israel, and Israel were making bad choices. They were doing really horrible things. They were killing each other. They were stealing. They were lying. They were gossiping. I mean, they were doing all these horrible things, and God's like, I have a purpose. I have a purpose. I have a purpose for you. And they just kept doing things their own way. And finally, it's Hosea 6:1, and it says, O people of Israel, do not rejoice as other nations do, for you have been unfaithful to God, hiring yourselves out like prostitutes, worshiping other gods on every threshing floor. What does that mean, threshing floor? What do you guys think that means? Hiring yourself out like prostitutes on every threshing floor. On every street? What else? What do you guys think it means? Land of God. Let me tell you what threshing, I looked up the word threshing floor. Threshing floor means a hard stone floor where they made grain, where they would crush grain. That's what it means.
What?
Doesn't that make sense?
Just confused me. No.
That makes total sense to me.
I don't know what
No,
you're
I'm just kidding. Okay, that makes no sense, right? So I looked what the Greek word for threshing floor in that verse meant. And it said that God was saying that threshing floor is the relationships between the bride and the groom. Because what does God say we are? His bride, and He's the groom. Okay? That He thinks of us as a beautiful bride. okay? And he wants to love us like a beautiful bride. The reason why they call it the threshing floor is who knows about Ruth and Boaz?